everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share to the channel. Subscribe right there, Unique Access, ENT, so we can keep bringing you guys these interviews and keep the channel going. That being said, today we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by LaTanya Ward. Thank you for coming through to Unique Access, LaTanya.
Thank you.
Yeah, so LaTanya does a lot of great work here in the community in Los Angeles. And among the things that she did that's very important and noteworthy is that she came up with the Nipsey Hussle Peace March after Nipsey was murdered. So for you, LaTanya, what made that something that you wanted to do and that was important for you?
Well, the immediate answer would be his death, and like the more long-term purpose of it was like his life. And I just wanted to highlight that you know, when there are a lot of Nipseys in the hood, in the sense of, you know, when invested in, the undesirables can be and do great things. And I saw it as the perfect opportunity to you know, just bolden that truth for people that have like a different listening for gangs, gang members, and yeah, just to make sure that not just that people knew that, but that we as gang members know that to be true about ourselves.
Right. So how, given with you with the Black Peace Stones and AD being with Rollin 60's, how did you guys come together in general and then for the march itself?
Well, in general, I mean, our hoods are right next door to each other, so we all have hella mutual friends. And so we knew about each other long before we actually knew each other, just because it's smart and safe to know who your hood's rivals are. And how we got cool was, you know, just getting older and going to the clubs in Hollywood. A lot of the gang members would go, and we would kind of be in a sense separate at like separate tables and shit, and sometimes it'll go down after the club, but for the most part, like, it would be we would be separate. But again, those mutual friends kind of like, you know, introduce us kind of by default sometimes, and we became cool. And then when we became close, I had went to a party in his hood. I have like a cousin from over there in his hood, and she had a party at her house, and I wound up having a fight, semi-gang related, and he kind of like had my back. He didn't let anything happen to me, even though I beat the person up, and I appreciated that. And yeah, and then as far as the march, I've been talking to him for years about how if we, as people who have heavily participated in gang culture, can get along, then I mean, I feel like other gang members can get along too. And we talk about that all the time. And I just told him this was the perfect opportunity. He told me no, because he on the run. The police just kicked this bitch door in, and he don't think it's a good idea for him to show his face right there. He'll get arrested. And I told him that if they already kicking his doors in, that he going to jail anyway. So do he want to go on the good foot, or do he want to go just like a regular old Joe? And he was like, all right, you right. He started calling, you know, who he needed to call up just to for crowd control purposes. And he called Big U and Bear Claw and his other big homies or whatever. And then I called Skip Townsend and asked him, can he unlock the door to Chuco's? He didn't really want to do it right then either. He thought that we couldn't do it, and I told him we could, and just open the fucking door, and he did. And we invited what I said to be all somebodies from their hood, and then from that it grew. And in 2 days we were at the march showing the media what it's a possibility of.
And then how did you feel, or how is it like for you, given that gang are predominantly shown and promoted as a male thing. How was it for you navigating getting the march together as a woman?
That wasn't hard at all. I mean, it wasn't hard to connect the dots. I wanted us to see like how separate from anything, like independent as a people, like how we can do shit. We didn't use social media, no nothing. We literally just used our own reach, and we got that reach, or that say so, you know, from mostly like bad actions, but we used the shit for like some good shit. And I just wanted to like, I wanted that to be, we dialogued about that a lot, being responsible with our power and shit. And it's hard just in general for men to hear women, but sometimes if and when they know, like, I guess that you've proven yourself in certain ways, and then they don't question it as much. But yeah, I mean, it was some struggle, but for the most part, who counted would kind of like control that. You know, like the men that counted would kind of like make sure that, you know, I got the platform when necessary.
And then what did you learn from the march?
I learned how important the Black woman is, how important we are in bringing what the whole situation lacks, compassion, and we have a high level of that, and it's very necessary in leading efforts like this. I also learned like what rules me, and then kind of like in large part like what rules us as gang members and Black people in general. What exactly we're up against, and just kind of like that was necessary, and like that's necessary period when in a leadership position. But it was real helpful in helping me with coming up with and planning like my next steps.
So what is up against you, and what are your next steps?
Too many things to name. Hella systemic racism, and in particular, just like anti-blackness is separate from racism, like the things that are in place for gang members are even more drastic and validated because of you know, our participations in our participation in you know, just gang activities and shit. But so that, but mostly I feel like what we're up against is our buy-in to who we've allowed, how we have allowed like our circumstances, because of the collateral damages of systemic racism, to just give us our role in life. So a lot of my next steps have to do with like personal development, and just creating spaces. Like I lead healing circles through this community safety initiative, and just creating spaces where we could like literally like introduce ourselves to ourselves, and you know, from that create this this unified front.
And where did you get the idea and the personal awakening to want to go down that road?
Because I mean, most people use what personally helped them. So I had been introduced to different things that allowed me to address my traumas and things like and then on top of that, going to school for community planning and economic development, and you know, learning the sneaky ways in which things are shaped, and learning that a lot of things that I felt was the choice of Black people and gang members in particular, like was not so much of just our choice, you know. And so to blend that with like having a respect for our reality as Black people, and then learning more about like how we can like create our own reality. So basically a blend of systemic and institutional knowledge, and and fucking like the law of attraction and the power of language. So my program is a blend of that. That's what, assisted me with getting to this mind state versus my old one. So I plan on using that.
And what
to help me.
What school did you go to?
I went to Trade Tech.
And what
they have a
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's where they have that trade at. It's called ComPlan, Community Planning and Economic Development. And it basically just teaches you the language of shit that you've been knowing for a long time, probably your whole life if you come from an underserved community, things that are wrong, but it teaches you the language, like how to articulate, I guess, in the world outside of your own, like what it is that's happening to you and your people. So I was real interested in that.
And because a lot of people have a misperception that gang members, I think, are uneducated or undereducated, what made you want to pursue additional education or outside education?
I guess I don't know. I was just, somebody told me about it. I can't even remember exactly how I found out about it, but I know that I was involved in the personal development program over at the Urban League in the 40s. And I just remember us like being taught this lesson about creating problems worth our lives, like telling us like all these problems that we had, we got some problems in the hood. And the instructor was like, oh, those problems are small, like, and proving a point. And he was like, y'all need problems worth your lives, like you need to create problems worth your life. So I'm like, well, shit, something way better to have a issue over or a problem over, or even in relation to gangbanging, something better to risk my life about would be adding to the same environment that I took from, and I was older. I had just got out of prison. Well, I had been out of prison for a couple of years, but it just sounded better than just doing the job that I was doing. I was working, but it's like, yeah, it would be nice to be able to do some of what I do naturally as a person who is growing older in a hood for my little homegirls, which is kind of guide them, in a different way than what we're used to, like, go fight these people or do that. Like, no, bitch, just some job. They hiring people over here, or whatever opportunities. Like, it would have been, it struck me as a good idea to possibly get paid for doing what it was that was really on my heart to do. And who better to do it than us with lived experience, and then multiply that with education, and like it was just like a no-brainer.
Gotcha. And then one of the projects that you're working on is the We Are Responsible for One Another. And from what I read about it and what I understand of it, is very positive and interesting as well. So could you explain what is that to everybody and how you came up with that idea and what you're working on with that?
So WARFO is a social enterprise, and it's kind of like, so when I would talk to Nipsey, I would tell him that, to me, personal development is economic development. And for this reason, because as soon as I began to be exposed to things that allowed that brought me into self-actualization and self-efficacy and all these things that other groups and races of people have access to and conversations about throughout their whole life. Like, they don't even gotta leave really their household to be introduced to things like that a lot of the time. So I was just trying to think of the most effective way to kind of like practice like whole person care for gang members. And I really believe that another thing that I learned, I learned it in ComPlan, but I learned it even more like in my face when I was organizing the march, that anybody talking about anything other than a situation that we as Black people and gang members, the most lost people in the whole the most lost Africans of the whole diaspora, if they not talking about something that a situation where we can independently sustain ourselves, that means financially, economically, personally, and otherwise, then they not talking about shit. Anything that they are offering us, a program, a job, a career, is crumbs. If you're not talking about us being able to do the very thing that every other fucking race and culture can do, except for Black people, then you're not really talking about shit. So I'm like, if I'm gonna create something, then I want it to be something that is actual fucking equity, you know? And so Warfo was that, a social enterprise idea based on the coffee being directly from a direct connect in Africa, which is dope too, for again, us, the most lost Africans of the diaspora gang members, to be benefiting from the continent of Africa. I mean, no, we're not all from Ethiopia, but for us to benefit at all from that continent is dope as fuck, because the people that have never left that continent don't get to benefit from it. So, yeah, and it's, coffee is the second largest commodity in the world after oil, damn near, and it's just all coming together. And the whole project is a collaboration of you know, Black people, ex-gang members, and otherwise other you know, teachers of different backgrounds that are going to get what the people in the community, the gang members, are saying we need. And it's like some real entrepreneurial shit. Like, it's gonna be we're gonna jump off the cliff and build the plane on the way down. And the people who are actually gonna benefit are who is gonna build it. It's buy-in potential. We'll have coffee carts, coffee trucks, brick and mortar businesses eventually. And it's buy-in potential to where people can eventually, who work these positions, can eventually start a franchise of our business. We can get our coffees into prisons, since we are the most fucked over in the prison industrial complex. Coffee is a big business there. It's just endless possibilities. The coffee being got healing properties, so that's happened to STEM programs that we can create for especially the youth, like how Nipsey put that STEM program at that elementary over in his hood. That was one of the best things that nigga did. Yeah, it's like endless possibilities to this shit.
In the beginning, hip-hop was ruled by the East Coast. Then the West Coast rose to prominence thanks to gangster rap.
Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube.
Hip-hop changed the world. Gangster rap changed the narrative.
I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world.
And then changed the world again.
Cause I'll come and take your life away.
The history of gangster rap features unheard stories, unseen photos and documents, all with exclusive interviews from the founders and players who shaped gangster rap.
I think a real gangster rapper has to scare you a little bit.
The history of gangster rap, written by veteran rap journalist Soren Baker. In stores now.
Yo, what up? This is DJ Quick. Be sure to pick up my homeboy Soren Baker's book, The History of Gangster Rap, if you really want to know what we do.